Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Tabuti. Today I'm coming to you with another egregious story out of St. Louis, Missouri. This incident occurred back in April, but I'm just coming to you because I wanted to wait so that I can get all the information that I could. Well, it's regarding a 47-year-old school bus driver. Her name is Petrula Griffin. And also, you need to watch Petrula Griffin on the news, KMOV, but it'll just warm your heart and sadden you at the same time to listen to her talk about the entire incident and her belief in God. The bus company that she works for requested that she switch routes with another driver. When she picked up the students from school, two girls got in a fight in the back of the bus. Griffin said that the two girls that got in the fight appeared to be between 9 and 10 years old. Griffin went to the back of the bus and intervened and separated the girls. She told the girl that started the fight to stay in the back as she took the other young lady up to the front of the bus. She then went on to tell the girl that started the fight in the back of the bus to have a seat. The young lady refused to sit down. But in the process of all of this going on, another fight started in the bus. Griffin was able to settle that fight down. She proceeded to tell the young lady to have a seat because she would not be able to proceed on her route unless the young girl sat down. The young lady comes to the front of the bus, and the bus driver, she attempts to talk to the little girl, but the little girl refused to listen to her. So she called her bus company and the police. The little girl was removed from the bus and placed on another school bus. When she got home, she told her mother that the bus driver put her off the bus and had told another student to jump on her. Well, as Griffin is proceeding on her bus route, she get to a stop to let off one of the children. And she said she noticed that people were standing outside at the stop. But she said the student didn't get off the bus. He just stood there. A parent came up to the bus and started cussing her out. And she started telling her that her daughter said that she told another child to jump on her and on and on. Griffin was trying to tell the parent that she didn't know what she was talking about. The parent ignored her and proceeded to take a broomstick with a sponge on the bottom and stands on the steps hitting at the bus driver. As the mother proceeded on the bus cussing out the bus driver is seated in her seatbelt and she's telling the parent that she cannot be on the bus. The parent ignores her, starts punching her as she's in her seatbelt. Petrula got herself out of the seatbelt and proceeded to try to close the door, but another person was holding the doors open. The mother proceeded to stand on the step as she hit the bus driver with a long stick, and the bus driver is using her feet to prevent the stick from hitting her. In the background, you can see it's so embarrassing. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Of course, I'm talking about my people. You can see all of these people, grown-ups, standing around with their cell phones out, videotaping the incident. And you can hear a guy in the background telling this lady, well, I'm not going to call, she's not a lady. Wasn't nothing ladylike about what she was doing. Yelling and pull her off the bus. Pull her off the bus. Oh my God. And so as the mother, you can see her pulling at the lady's shirt. The bus driver is holding on, trying to prevent herself from being pulled off the bus. The other lady comes up onto the bus to assist with grabbing and pulling the bus driver off the bus, which they succeeded in doing. This bus driver was dragged down the steps and onto the ground as the crowd yells. The mother and this other lady proceeds as the bus driver is laying on the ground, kicking and punching on her. Get this. The little girl that allegedly started the fight is seen kicking the bus driver on the ground. Nobody, none of these Negroes, grown Negroes in the crowd, nobody is saying stop, stop, or trying to intervene and separate them. When she gets up, as young people say, OMG, you see the little girl punch her in her face. The bus driver proceeds over, and the crowd is going, whoa! What? Not stop, little girl, nothing. The mother continues to cuss the bus driver out as she goes towards her bus. The door is closed. So the mother's cussing her out. Kids are on the bus. Children are on the ground, standing there along with all those damn, I'm going to call them adults, but they don't even deserve that title. But the bus driver has to signal to the children on the bus, and one of them opened up the bus doors, and the bus driver is still saying to this mother, I don't know your child. I don't know your child. And the mother is going, but you gonna know her now. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you a very important part, and you can, okay, this video went viral. So one of those fools that was videotaping posted it on Facebook. You can also catch it on World Star Hip Hop. While the mother is punching and kicking on this woman while she's on the ground, the mother's entire breasts come out of her little skimpy top. The mother is still hitting her and kicking her with one hand while she's scooping in her breast back into her bra. Well, one of her breasts, so she thought to. But I was like so embarrassed. I just could not believe this. The bus driver, she said that she laid there because she heard God say to her, be still. And she realized later she was happy that she listened to him because things could have been worse. And said that, had she fall back, It may be a different story. She may not be here to tell the story, but she couldn't recall everything that happened to her. And it was only later when she went to the hospital and went home that she saw it, the video that went viral, that she realized all the things that had happened to her, and that she saw this little child that was kicking her and then punched her, that she was like, wow. She said that she thanked God that she listened to God. She said, had it been another bus driver, no telling what the end result could have been. But she said that she's not mad at those people. She's not mad, but she does want them to be locked up. And she said she was so embarrassed when she saw the video. Matter of fact, Petrula was saying during the interview that the bus driver that normally has the route that she took that day, that bus driver was having problems with the students on the bus just days before, and that's why the bus driver didn't want to drive that route. But this is another example of why all school buses need to have an assistant on the bus. I know there's funding issues and for teachers. Hell, there's no money for teachers. But this needs to be done. And the kicker is Google school bus drivers attack. It's not just in St. Louis, and it's a nationwide issue. But also, I know in a community where I live, I've seen the school principal ride the bus with the students because of a fight that occurred the day before, and all these kids were going to be on the same bus because they were taking the same bus route. But the school principal rode the bus home with the students. But there is something that needs to be done to rectify these issues. The child's mother's name is Tyandra Williams. She's 30 years old, and she has been arrested and charged with 5 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, 1 count of assault in the 3rd degree on a special victim, and 1 count of trespassing on a school bus. Her bond was set at $20,000 cash only. But the other woman, her name is Tiffany Pruitt. She's 32 years old, and she's charged with 3rd degree assault. It seemed like she would get a charge for trespassing on the bus also. It's a shame. I always say that. That's my word. Goddamn shame. Where'd this little girl go? I hope there's somebody that can take care of her, because although she was allegedly a bully in this case, I always say to you, she's still a child. This is learned behavior, you all. Things gotta change. I understand that we're struggling. I understand that unemployment is high in our community, although they're saying unemployment in the black community has decreased. But the jobs that are available to a lot of us, and especially due to lack of higher education, they're generally minimum wage jobs that can require you to have to work 2 or more jobs. But also, What I would really like to know about this mother, does she participate in parent-teacher conferences? Do she volunteer at the school? Does she sit down and do homework with her child? Why didn't you have a leveled head and say to yourself, I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to the school about this incident? Why, in the heat of the moment, you lost focus? Or is that just you? You may be known in the neighborhood to get down at the drop of a hat. But I'm concerned about the little girl. Where is she? I hope she's being taken care of by maybe grandma or a level-headed auntie or somebody. I don't know if the father is in the home. But, and the other lady, what would possess you? That shit. I ain't doing that with you. No. Why couldn't somebody with a leveled head say, you need to go up to the school and complain about this? So now you're in jail. You should be embarrassed like hell when you see the unedited version of your titties out for the world to see as you behave like a goddamn fool. And then that's embarrassing to your daughter, and if you have other children, and to your family members. I hope that you think strongly about while you're sitting in jail trying to come up with $20,000 cash. I hope that you think about your actions, the effect that it had on your child and your other children if you have them, but also the effect that it had on the other children that were around. You're supposed to be a role model. Both of you women, I should call you girls. I mean, you know what you needed to be fighting for? Quality education for your child and other children. You know what you needed to be fighting for? Affordable health care, jobs, a better community. She has an attorney now, and according to her attorney, he said she's struggling physically, mentally, and emotionally. She has a concussion and bruised all over her body and not doing well at all. And at the time of this follow-up, he doesn't know if she'll ever be able to return to work. No thinking was involved in this. And the kicker with this is, this was a situation where the mother had time to think, to come from your home, to follow a bus route. Why didn't you call the school? Call the bus company? Why didn't you wait until she completed her route, and not to fight her, but to discuss the situation? You took what your daughter said to be fact, but what I really think with the little girl, and we all can relate to this, she said, oh hell, I'm going to get in trouble. The police have come. I'm sure they probably done called my mama. When I get home, I'm going to get my ass beat. And so she made up this story. But I understand a parent being concerned, but that's just not the way. And because this was premeditated, you planned this to end up, unless some other adults happen to be at this bus stop and one of them had a Ouija broomstick with them, or you brought the broomstick Ouija thing from home. What were you thinking? No, you weren't thinking. You weren't even thinking about your baby witnessing this. Maybe this is obviously normal behavior for this little girl to start kicking the bus driver along with you and this other woman. And then when the fight ends, hit her in her face. And no reaction from you. Your adrenaline just going. Never considering the consequence of what you were doing. And to all of those grown-ass, irresponsible-ass adults, and especially, I'm not calling them men, guys that stood back and watched this happen. Not one person can be heard saying, stop, stop. Not one person can be seen trying, the men especially, trying to separate these women from the bus driver. Not one person can be heard saying, hey, there are children up on that bus by themselves. I am embarrassed, and maybe it's me. I've said to a coworker years ago when the incident happened, something was on the news, and I was like, do you get embarrassed when you see incidents that occur that we're black people, African Americans, are involved in? Do you get embarrassed when you see that on the news and the world is looking at it? And she told me, no, they ain't got nothing to do with her. But I get embarrassed. Although white folks do crap all the time too, and they do major things. Sandy Hook, Columbine, the Charlottesville, the shootings in Las Vegas. But they don't seem to, they see that as a separate incident. That's just some crazy mentally ill white person. It has nothing to do with me, as my coworker was saying. But I do, because we black and brown people, we get judged by what other black and brown people do. We're all lumped together. Well, anyway, everybody, I'm sorry to have to keep bringing all of this negative crap up, especially about our people, but I'm going to have a couple of positive stories, which actually occur more than none. But everybody have a good one.